beautiful people. Thank you so much for turning up to your practice today. I am very honored to be here with you. If you've never met me before, my name is Sarah. This class today is going to be relatively slow and stretchy and juicy, so perfect if you're wanting to wind down after a day, or you can absolutely do this at any time of the day. We will be working in a couple of active asanas, active poses, so it's not completely still, but we're going to interlude those moments of activity, of flow, with moments of lots of stillness as well. We're going to get started in a balasana on the ground, so take the knees wide. I'm going to encourage you, if you wanted to find a wide balasana, so knees might even come off the mat here. Bring the toes together, hips go back. You might take the arms forward. Another option here, which I quite like to do, is just to bring the wrists together, sending the forehead down onto the wrists, or maybe even the temple. Just start taking some deep breaths here. And perhaps you'd like to just reflect on your day, whether you're just starting the day or whether you're ending the day, and what energy you have brought to your mat. Noticing if your energy might be a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, slow or active. And just being really present with that at the moment. Not trying to change anything that we are experiencing, but accepting ourselves and this experience with wholehearted love and kindness, curiosity, non-attachment, vairagya. One of our goals in our yoga practice is to try and find balance between opening and closing, active and slow, inhale and exhale. Another concept you may have heard me talking about is the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic being rest and digest, and the sympathetic being more active and fight or flight. Both are incredibly important for us to be here as humans. We need both in our lives. But we don't want to be stuck in one of those places for too long. We always want to try and find our homeostasis, that place of the in-between. And one of the things that we practice and almost train in our yoga practice is that time to recover. So once you've entered into a state of perhaps sympathetic nervous system or parasympathetic nervous system, that journey back towards center is what we try and practice. So maybe you would like to ask yourself, what is the energy that I'm needing at the moment to draw me back into center? Maybe it is that slowness, easefulness of the parasympathetic nervous system. If you're feeling a bit low on energy, maybe you need a little bit of a lift. Every day is going to be different. Every person's going to be different. Only you can know what may be best for you. Let's take about 5 more just really deep breaths here. Maybe you slide the knees out a little bit more. Can you try fill up with the breath even more? So inflating the back of the ribs, expanding into the diaphragm. Using your exhale to just let go of any tension that you may be experiencing, not just in the physical body, but also easing the mind, easing the heart space. When you're ready, maybe just start to slide up onto the hands, drawing the knees in slightly. Find your way into a tabletop position. We are going to use the sides of our mat just a heads up, so if you need to move anything out of the way or rearrange yourself so you have space there, then feel free to do so now. Find a neutral spine here, press away from the ground, belly draws in slightly. Slight curve of the lower back, although we're not letting the ribs flare out here, so draw it in slightly. Can you use your next breath in, keep the right knee bent but start to lift it off the ground. Squeeze the glutes, and then as we exhale, take some slow circles of the knee joint. So you're circling out in one direction, warming up through the hip joint, the glute medius, the glute maximus. Try to switch directions. See if we can be really conscious and intentional as we breathe and move through our asanas. Use your next breath in to extend that right leg out long, keep that neutral spine, and then as we exhale, take that right foot towards the side so that aligns up with your hip. Toes point forward, and see if you can press the outer edge of the right foot down. As we breathe in, can we come out of neutral, drop the belly, maybe lift the eye gaze, lift the tailbone, and then as we exhale, round through the upper back, find your cat position, tuck the chin in. Just a couple more times in your own breath. It might feel quite intense doing the cow variation with the leg out, so at any point you can draw the right knee in as well. This is how we're going to open through the adductors, which are the inner of the legs. They help adduct, so add means drawing in towards the body. Abductors are taking it outside of the body. Just a little bit of biology there. One more breath. Find your neutral spine again, and then see if we can just rock the sit bones back and forward, maybe just a little bit, maybe a little bit further depending on how you're feeling today. Maybe the elbows touch down. You could always tuck onto the left toes if you wanted a little bit more opening through the left back of the foot. Try one more breath here. Come back through center. We're going to find a twist. If you wanted a more gentle twist, left hand's going to thread towards the right foot. If you wanted a bit more of a challenging twist, right hand is going to twist towards the left. Whatever hand you're going to choose, breathe in, sweep the hand high. Exhale, can you twist towards the side? And if you're twisting the right hand towards the left, the head may not touch the ground, the shoulder may not touch the ground. Keep engaging through the right quadricep by drawing the right knee up. Try one more breath. Come back through center, right hand plants down. Tuck the left foot in slightly. We're going to come onto our sit bones. Right foot comes out in front. Okay, we're going to find a fold here. Right foot either tucks underneath the left shin, or if you wanted a deeper stretch, bring it out more so that the shin's more parallel or even further forward. Big breath in, see if you can lift up tall. As you exhale, can you walk yourself forward? Tuck the chin in slightly. If you wanted a slightly deeper stretch, you could see if you could thread the left hand towards the right, dropping the left shoulder down. You might feel that more in the right hip. Keep the knees drawing down towards the ground. Three more deep breaths here. When you're ready, just start to walk yourself up. Draw the foot in, find your way back into a tabletop position again. We're going to try that all on the other side. So engage through the core to begin with. Breathe in, left knee lifts up high. Squeeze the glutes, press away from the ground. Exhale, can you start to take some slow circles with the knee joint. Trying to keep the spine as neutral as we can here. So as we lift the knee, try not to let the belly button drop too much. Okay, that's how we're going to isolate through the glutes. Other direction. How's your breathing going? Use your next breath in. Can you extend that left leg out long so it's in line with the hip? As you exhale, start to travel the left leg around, left toes, turn high towards the front. Foot is extended in line with the hip. I'm going to try cat and cows again. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the eye gaze, try to tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, draw up and away from the ground, press through the hands. Just a couple more times here. Remember, you always have the option of drawing the left knee in. Find your way back through center. We're going to just shift forward and back slightly. So trying to keep the spine in as neutral of a position. If you notice your pelvis or your lower back starting to round, just try to reduce the range a little bit more so we keep the opening through the left adductors. Come back through center. We're going to find our twist again. For a more easeful stretch, it's the right hand towards the left. More active, left hand towards the right. Breathe in, sweep the whatever hand you would like high. Exhale, try find your twist. And see if you can press through the hand that's on the ground to draw the shoulder back, the top shoulder back. One more breath. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale, maybe deepen a little bit more. Come back through center. Place the hands down. Draw the right foot in slightly as you slide the sit bones towards the ground. We're going to tuck the left leg in. So again, you can either find a Sukhasana position with the left foot in more. If you wanted to, you can take the feet out a little bit further. So the shin is parallel or even a little bit further forward. Flex the feet slightly, big breath in. Exhale, see if you can travel the heart space forward over your legs. Keep the knees pressing down towards the ground. We're trying to encourage length through our back here. So using your inhale, maybe imagine the crown of the head is tugging forward. Exhale, maybe fold a little bit deeper. If you wanted a deeper variation of this, see if you can thread the right hand towards the left side, dropping the right shoulder down slightly. When you're ready, just come back through center. We're gonna cross over the feet, plant the hands forward wide, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So feet are about hip width distance, fingertips are spread wide. See if you can lift the hips high. You might want to be more active here, or if you wanted to find some slowness, some stillness, then you know what energy you're trying to achieve here. If your eyes are open, can you bring your eye gaze in between your feet? Or feel free to close down your eyes here. Take 2 more deep breaths. When you're ready, take a big breath in, roll yourself forward into your plank position. While you do that, can you pick up your right foot, tap it towards the right knee, towards the right elbow, and then replace the right hand with the right foot. Left knee is going to come down. So stack the right knee on top of the ankle. You can stay up onto your hands, or if you want a little bit more, maybe you bring one elbow down, maybe the other elbow comes down. So quite a deep opening for the hips here, the hip flexor as well as the right glutes. Try to hug the right knee in. Another option here, if you wanted to try a different variation, is to keep the right knee peeling out and lifting off the inner arch of the right foot. And that's going to open through the hip abductors in that position. One more deep breath. Start to walk the hands high. Hands are going to come to the thigh if that feels comfortable. Take a big breath in, lift tall. Exhale, can you send the hips down slightly? Draw the shoulders back. Press through the tops of the left leg here. That's going to help engage down the front line of the leg. Hands come to the ground, tuck onto the left toes. Let's slide the left foot up slightly, plant the heel down on a 45-degree angle to find our Pajvakonasana. Soft bend of the right knee here. Can you draw the left hip forward, right hip back slightly? Spread the right toes wide, tuck the chin in and let the upper body hang heavy. And if you wanted to bring some shoulder opening into this as well, you could, by lifting the hands off, take the hand behind your back, clasp the hands together, and then see if you can pull the knuckles towards the front of the mat. It requires a little bit more balance and core activation, but it's quite a nice stretch for the upper body. Take one more breath. Bring the hands towards the ground, slide the left knee down, sit back onto your hips. Keep the right leg extended and draw the left foot into the right inner thigh. Start to pivot the hips open slightly. Right hand comes onto the inside of the right calf. Can you breathe in and start to sweep the left hand high? And then as you exhale, see if you can take the left hand behind the head and peel the left elbow back. It helps if you can bring your right elbow down towards the leg if that feels accessible to you, as that way you can push into the leg to open the left shoulder back. See if you can flex into the right foot here. Press that left hip down and keep trying to travel the head forward. One more breath, big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Can you draw that left elbow back a little bit more? When you're ready, start to turn towards your front leg. Big breath in. Exhale, fold over your front leg. Tuck the chin in slightly. Maybe the hands land by your sides. Maybe you walk them forward a little bit more. They could always come onto the leg, but try not to force yourself into a deeper position. We're just encouraging ourselves with the breath. Let's try one more breath here. When you're ready, start to walk yourself up. Take the left hand behind the back, turn the fingers away from you. Take a big breath in and press through the left knee and the right heel as you reach the right hand towards the back. As you exhale, maybe you turn the heart space towards the sky a bit more. Can you squeeze the glutes? Feeling the front body starting to open. One more big breath in. Exhale, start to roll yourself down. Cross over the feet, find your way into a plank position. Big breath in, either on your knees or your toes, chaturanga, elbows bending close to the body, come down slowly, untuck the toes, inhale baby bhujangasana, squeeze the glutes and pull the elbows in. As you exhale, press up onto the knees, tuck onto the toes, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Nice, we're going to do everything on the other side, so a couple of kind of more active poses and very stretchy as well. Inhale, start to roll yourself forward into your plank position. While you do that, can you lift up the left knee and try tap it to the left elbow. Exhale, take the left foot to replace the left hand. Drop the right knee down, untuck the right toes. Again, you can stay up on your hands, or you can start to bend one elbow down and then bend the other elbow down. Maybe a little shift from side to side feels good here. Again, see if you can hug the left knee in towards the left shoulder, or alternatively, you can peel that left knee away with lifting the inner arch of the left foot. Up to you what you may want to have in your asana here. When you're ready, start to press up onto the hands. Maybe walk the left foot in ever so slightly. Left hand comes towards the thigh, right hand comes towards the thigh. Anjaneyasana variation. Breathe in, try lift up tall. Exhale, feel the hips start to drop down. Keep the hands pressing firmly into the thigh. Drawing the shoulders back. Feeling the press of the top of the foot into the ground. When you're ready, tuck onto the right toes, big breath in, start to lengthen the legs, and then as you exhale, slide that right foot forward a little bit more. Turn the toes out slightly, Parsvottanasana. Soften that left leg slightly, but keep pressing down through the heels, spreading through the toes. So you're finding more activeness here. You can make it a more passive pose, or you can make it active, and the activeness is going to allow you to fold into it in a deeper way. Tuck the chin in. If you wanted any arms with this, find the bind with the hands behind your back again and see if you can pull the knuckles forward. It's going to encourage the chest to fold forward a little bit more as well. Let's try 2 more breaths here. Can you draw the left hip forward, right foot back? Left hip back, right hip forward. When you're ready, we're going to bend the right knee, bring it to the ground, slide the hips back, keep the left leg extended, right foot comes towards the left inner thigh. Start to shift the hips open towards the right, left hand comes onto the inner of the left calf. Breathe in, sweep the right hand high. As you exhale, bring the right hand towards the back of the head. See if you can pull that right elbow back on a breath in. As you exhale, can you lengthen out of your spine a little bit more? So this is a bit more of an active opener. You've got the right shoulder and elbow pressing back. You've got the left shoulder and elbow pressing forward. One more deep breath. When you're ready, start to turn towards your left leg. Square out your hips, big breath in, lift up tall. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Tuck the chin in. You can always bend that left knee as much as you need here to find more comfort within the pelvis and the lower back. And if you want a little bit more, see if you can tuck the chin in almost like you're about to look towards your belly button. I find that fires up the nerves down my back and legs a bit more. Try one more breath here. When you're ready, just start to walk yourself back. You're going to extend both of the legs out in front. Oh no, sorry, keep the right foot in. We haven't done our wild thing on the other side. So take the right hand around this time, keep the left leg extended, big breath in, stick the left hand high, press the hips up. Maybe exhale, you open the heart a little bit more. Keep the left toes pressing down. Maybe you bring your eye gaze towards your left big thumb. Well, you've only got one thumb, unless you've got a little thumb and a big thumb. Woo. One more big breath in. Exhale, come down. Beautiful. Let's take our peace fingers around our big toes. You're going to draw the knees up towards the chest. You might want to shuffle forward a little bit here. Take the elbows around the outsides of the knees. Big breath in. As we exhale, we're going to try rock back and forward a couple of times. Maybe you land back in a near halasana position. Maybe you roll all the way back forward. Just up to you. Have a bit of fun. Feels quite nice rolling up and down on the back, although I'm on a pretty uneven surface, so I'm kind of going everywhere. And if you do catch your balance on your shoulders, feel free to stay there. I'll cue if you wanted to find a halasana or somewhere in between. So once we landed back on our shoulders, can you hold there? Keep the knees ticking over. See if you can land your hands down towards the front of the mat and extend the legs out long. You might bring your hands towards your lower back here. Now you can have your feet up a little bit higher. If you felt open enough, you could start to lower your feet down towards the ground. They may not touch, or they may. You keep trying to lift the hips up as high as we can. So we're trying to lengthen through the back so we're not rounding over too much. That makes it a little bit more active. Tuck the chin in a little bit more. Lift up through the belly. Maybe even clasp the hands together. It's going to allow you to lift it a bit higher onto your shoulders. Maybe you stay here for another 2 to 3 breaths. Maybe it's 5 breaths. Maybe it's now. Once you feel ready to come out, and I encourage you to take your time here, then bring the thighs as close as you can towards your chest as you roll down through the spine. Bring the feet behind the hips, and we'll just rest here for a moment. You might walk your feet out a little bit more and draw the knees in slightly. Just letting the spine find a bit of neutral. You might feel a little bit of tingling, or depending on how often you practice that asana, maybe get a bit of discomfort through the lower back. Know that that is totally normal, and it's important that we take this time afterwards just to give it some time to readjust. We'll just transition into a couple of asanas down on our back, really winding things down, and then we'll head into a shavasana for a couple of minutes. We'll find a happy baby to begin with. So maybe you take the feet, the hands around the outsides of the feet, drawing the knees down, pressing the lower back towards the ground. Maybe you find fingers around, peace fingers around your big toe. I like to do that because it means that I can extend one leg out with a little bit more ease. and then the other leg out. Of course, you can also do this with the hands around the outside of the feet. I just find the toes sometimes a little bit easier to clasp onto. And really just check in with your energy, check in with asking yourself, how can I nourish myself right now? Maybe that's going straight into a Shavasana. Maybe that's doing a different asana to what I'm offering. Maybe it's trying to find a little bit more activeness within that asana, so a bit more engagement of the muscles, deeper breathing. When you're ready, just bring the right foot down if you're with me, and take the left foot over the right thigh. We're finding a reclined pigeon pose, which looks like a figure 4. The hands might wrap around the right thigh here. And then just see if you can pull the right knee in while you press the left knee out with the left elbow. We won't stay here for too long. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, can you release the hands from around the thigh and travel the left foot and the right knee over towards the right. Keep tucking that right foot close towards the glutes. The right hand might come around the left foot to slide the left foot a little bit closer towards you, but keep trying to press that left knee out. Left hand might extend towards the side, and you might draw your eye gaze down your hand. Breathe in, start to slide the right knee high. Draw the left knee down a little bit further, so you're finding Garudasana legs, eagle legs, and then maybe you turn back to your twist to find a deeper expression here. If you've got the double clasp of the legs with the left foot coming behind the right thigh, the right calf, feel free to find that as well. One more big breath in. Exhale, draw the left shoulder down a bit more. Come back through center. We'll try that on the other side. Right foot comes over the left thigh. Take the hands behind the back of the leg. A little shift from side to side if that feels good. Take a big breath in. Release the hands from the back of the leg. Left foot comes down and draw the right foot and the left knee over towards the left. Left hand can come around the right foot. Keep pressing that right knee away. Right hand extends to the side. Use your next breath in, lift the left knee high, slide the right knee down a little bit further. Maybe you find the double clasp. Exhale, can you drop the knees down towards the left again, but try to keep that right shoulder pressing down. Just 2 more breaths here. You're ready, come back through center. Let's find our Shavasana. Or whatever position that feels like it's honoring yourself in this moment. Maybe that's legs extended out long. It might be with the feet wide on the mat and the knees knocking in. Maybe it's a Supta Baddha Konasana with the feet together and the knees wide. Maybe you want to finish your practice in a seated meditation. See if you can close down the eyes if they haven't already. Letting the closing of the senses allow for a deeper return to the inner self. I'm going to offer a couple rounds of pranayama just to deepen our sense of grounding here. And that is inhaling for a count of 4, and then exhaling for a count of 8. And that longer exhale allows for the parasympathetic nervous system to come in. It encourages us to relax a little bit more, let the muscles become heavy. If you're with me and you wanted to try this, exhale fully. Then breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds in your own time. Letting go of any tension in the face, in the jaw, in the upper body, lower body as you exhale. Once you've completed your breath, feel free to continue if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll just land in a moment of stillness for a minute or two. Just begin to notice where your mind is at the moment. If you notice the thoughts have wandered, just keep encouraging them to anchor back into the present in your body and your breath on this mat. Very slowly, we'll just start to wake the body up again. Maybe wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. And then when you feel ready, we will make our way up into a seat to close out our practice. Keeping the eyes closed, keeping those senses withdrawn for a moment, so that when we come out of our practice, we can see more vibrantly, more clearly. Let's bring our hands through heart center. Acknowledge any energy shifts that may have happened in this practice. And just looking out into the rest of your day, maybe you can think about how to find balance. Maybe finding more active energy, or maybe you need to just chill out. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. And from me to you, from my heart to your heart, Namaste. Thank you for sharing the gift of yoga with me. And I hope to see you again sometime soon. Feel free to join our Patreon account that's being launched on July the 1st. That way, if you wanted to support this channel and the videos that I create on YouTube, this is a great way where you might be able to do that. Yeah, so stay tuned. I'll see you again.